Like, hi, have you met Brian Friedman yet? I know I haven't, but I wouldn't try this. Judge Lehman responds to this order and he slaps her down.
Are you going to sue Blake Lively too?
Into oblivion.
In a world where sometimes people judge you before they give you a chance.
Hollywood has always been a landscape of mesmerizing glitz, glitter, and power. Yet behind every polished red carpet pose, there can be layers of secret deals, hidden motives, and sudden betrayals lurking in the shadows. Few celebrity power couples have captured the public's affection quite like Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. Their social media banter, philanthropic gestures, and impeccable comedic timing made them seem untouchable. However, all it takes is one seismic controversy to shake that glossy foundation, and that's exactly what's unfolding right now. Allegations, counterclaims, and rumored betrayals have ignited a legal firestorm that's threatening to topple this golden duo from their celebrated pedestal. At the center of it all sits a man many had never heard of until recently, Brian Friedman. In Hollywood's legal circles, though, his name is synonymous with high-stakes showdowns and merciless courtroom strategies.
Actress Blake Lively is accusing co-star and director Justin Baldoni of sexual harassment and a smear campaign stemming from their work together on the summer movie It Ends With Us.
When star director and actor Justin Baldoni found himself facing harsh accusations, he didn't hesitate to hire Friedman, a move that instantly changed the entire dynamic. Suddenly, those who had leveled claims against Baldoni found themselves in the crosshairs of a legal juggernaut, and the drama that ensued has left fans, critics, and industry insiders reeling. Over the next several sections, prepare to discover the layers of this unfolding controversy. You'll see how a straightforward complaint morphed into a multi-million-dollar lawsuit spree, implicating not only Blake Lively, but also Ryan Reynolds and possibly other notable names along the way. Buckle up, because this story is about to prove that in Hollywood, reputations can be built up in a moment and torn down even faster. It all began with hushed whispers that sprang up during a film collaboration between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni.
Actor-director Justin Baldoni is now suing his former co-star Blake Lively and her husband Ryan Reynolds, seeking more than $400 million in damages, accusing them of defamation and extortion.
On the surface, the project itself sounded promising. A summer release meant to dazzle audiences with a passionate storyline and on-screen chemistry. Yet those close to the production started hinting that behind the scenes, trouble was brewing. At first, it was easy to dismiss these rumblings as standard Hollywood chatter. Actors get into spats all the time, and rumor mills churn out gossip about celebrities as if it's their primary source of oxygen. But this time felt different. The conversation steered into more serious territory, with certain insiders insisting that Baldoni had crossed lines nobody should ever cross on set. Those concerned began to allude to behavior that wasn't just difficult or temperamental, but potentially more severe. News sites caught wind of these allegations, and soon headlines popped up, painting Baldoni as an aggressor.
Are you going to sue Blake Lively too?
Into oblivion.
Stories circulated claiming Blake Lively felt deeply offended by incidents on set that she described as humiliating and exploitative. While some pieces stood firmly in her corner, a contingent of fans hesitated, awaiting concrete proof. Baldoni maintained his innocence, though, and that's where the seeds of a massive legal saga were planted. Yet while the internet buzzed and fans debated who was at fault, something else was set in motion. Justin Baldoni was not about to fight these claims alone. Justin Baldoni had a choice when these accusations first emerged: quietly settle out of court and let the matter blow over, or hire someone who could aggressively flip the narrative. He chose the latter. Enter Brian Friedman, a name that's nearly folklore among Hollywood attorneys for his unflinching resolve and track record of courtroom triumphs.
You are about to file a lawsuit against Blake's publicist, Leslie Sloan. Are we correct? And if so, is it a similar allegation to the New York Times case?
She'll definitely be sued. There's no question about that. I mean, it's just a matter of when and for what, and whether she's included with others or not. And frankly, I'm not prepared to give up our legal strategy.
If there's one person who thrives on taking a seemingly impossible case and turning it on its head, it's him. Friedman's reputation can be summarized in a single phrase: a wrecking ball in a tailored suit. He gained recognition after representing top-tier producers, executives, and even rival celebrities in high-profile battles that most lawyers would handle more delicately. Typically, one might expect a balanced, step-by-step defense strategy. Friedman, however, is known for going on the offensive with astonishing speed. So when Baldoni approached him, the wheels of a new and enormous counterattack began turning. Sources close to Friedman said he immediately questioned every aspect of Blake Lively's claims, convinced there was more to the story. His stance was clear from the start. If the accusations were exaggerated or fabricated, he would not just defend Baldoni. He would tear apart the entire foundation of the complaint. As rumors spread that Friedman was preparing a defamation and extortion lawsuit worth hundreds of millions against Blake, observers realized they weren't dealing with a typical Hollywood dispute. If Friedman's involvement rattled a few cages in Tinseltown, then what came next nearly upended the entire scene, because he wasn't content to stop at one or two lawsuits. The moment Brian Friedman officially stepped into the ring, the controversy exploded into a labyrinth of legal actions, one more shocking than the last.
Counsel for Miss Lively has made it clear that Miss Lively does not want Mr. Friedman to be the attorney who takes her deposition. Essentially, the judge agreed and told her lawyer that she does not get to choose who deposes her.
Initially, most eyes were on Blake Lively's allegations, which included claims of orchestrated harassment. But Friedman wasted no time firing back, filing countersuits that painted Blake, and by association, Ryan Reynolds, as participants in a deliberate character takedown. While fans tried to keep pace with the barrage of legal documentation, revelations popped up left and right. Articles suspected of painting Baldoni in an unjust light were singled out, with Friedman's team promising to sue for libel if they didn't retract or correct their statements. Publicists who echoed Blake's claims found themselves served with legal notices. Even media platforms merely reporting on the case with a slightly pro-Blake bent felt the heat. One of the biggest bombshells was the rumored $400 million lawsuit directed at Blake and Ryan for defamation and extortion. Allegedly, Friedman insisted that the power couple had initiated or endorsed a smear campaign aiming to destroy Baldoni's career and moral reputation. If proven true, these allegations could not only devastate Blake's credibility, but also significantly undermine Ryan's image as a genial Hollywood fixture who rarely engages in serious conflicts. Suddenly, the spotlight shifted away from the initial question, did Baldoni do something unacceptable on set? And onto, how far will Blake and Ryan go to defend themselves? Frenzied speculation erupted on social media.
Allegedly, Target is claiming customers are returning Blake Lively's hair care line, Blake Brown, in droves. So they are pulling all of her merchandise off their shelves because they are losing profit.
Some saw Lively as a champion standing up for those too scared to speak, while others pegged her as an opportunist with a hidden agenda, especially given the severity of the countersuit. But the mounting legal entanglements weren't just about who could sue whom the fastest. Behind the scenes, the personal and professional fallout for Blake and Ryan had already begun to surface, and it threatened to dismantle everything they'd worked so hard to build. One of the most immediate consequences of a highly public legal drama is its ripple effect on personal brands. For Blake, who carved a niche for herself as a lifestyle and beauty entrepreneur, maintaining a wholesome image was crucial. She was never just an actress. She was a multifaceted brand ambassador for everything from hair care products to fashion lines. A single lawsuit might seem manageable for someone of her stature, but a firestorm of litigation, coupled with accusations painting her as deceitful, can tarnish a brand's image overnight. Rumors circulated that major retailers began re-evaluating their partnership with Blake's hair care ventures. Some sources even alleged that sales plummeted so dramatically that certain store chains were forced to pull her products from shelves to avoid financial losses. Social media posts started cropping up from disgruntled consumers claiming they had returned her merchandise en masse. Whether these returns were fueled by genuine outrage or a desire to join the latest internet crusade remains unclear.
One of those intended parties, Jed Wallace, along with his company Street Relations, filed an anticipatory and meritless 10-page complaint in the federal district court in Texas regarding issues that substantially overlap with the issues in this litigation.
But the damage was real. Then there was Ryan Reynolds, the face behind blockbuster hits, and a handful of comedic brand endorsements that always seemed to go viral. Marvel fans especially adored him for his witty portrayal of a certain red-suited antihero. Yet in the swirling rumors, a murmur gained traction. Marvel might be distancing itself from Ryan due to the negative publicity. A studio that invests billions into family-friendly superhero franchises has little appetite for drawn-out legal fiascos. Even if these rumors remain unconfirmed, the mere whisper of them was enough to stress sponsors, executives, and fans who had grown accustomed to Ryan's comedic charm in every interview. This brand erosion doesn't happen in a vacuum. Hollywood watchers have pointed out that once a star's brand starts showing cracks, it opens the door for opportunistic challengers ready to swoop in and claim those lucrative endorsement deals.
What Lively parties conspicuously failed to mention is that the now pending litigation in Texas was precipitated by Miss Lively, who initiated legal action against Mr. Wallace in Texas state court on January 21st, approximately 2 weeks before he filed his federal lawsuit in
film roles or partnership opportunities. When one A-lister falters, there's always another waiting in the wings to become the new face of prestige. The question now became whether Blake and Ryan could stem this branding crisis and maintain their status, or if the entire ordeal would escalate into a reputational free-fall. And as it turned out, the next series of courtroom twists would make salvaging their public image even more difficult. The inside of a courthouse is the stage for real drama, especially when high-profile figures are involved. Observers from entertainment media and legal circles crammed into hearing rooms, desperate to see how the arguments would play out. Court sketches and transcripts soon fueled online debates, with fans and critics dissecting each lawyer's posture, each witness's expression, and each snippet of testimony.
Anyways, Judge Lehman responds to this order and he slaps down, he just slaps her down. I don't know what else to say. Probably because he probably doesn't take kind to just being manipulated. You know, you should have just been like, I want an extension because I don't have any proof.
Tension soared when Blake Lively's counsel made a request that many found audacious. They wanted to determine who would be allowed to depose Blake. In other words, they demanded the right to block Brian Friedman from personally questioning her, presumably to minimize what they saw as an inevitable confrontation. To nobody's surprise, the presiding judge rejected this request, pointing out that legal proceedings don't typically permit a defendant to pick and choose their interrogator. This judicial smackdown amplified speculation that Blake, and perhaps even Ryan, feared the brunt of Friedman's intense questioning style. Known for cornering witnesses with precise, rapid-fire queries, Friedman thrived on extracting revelations from even the most media-trained individuals. If there was a contradiction in her statements, or if her story contained any inconsistencies, he was likely to highlight them in the most dramatic fashion possible, turning them into social media sound bites that could go viral in minutes. Not long after, another confrontation erupted regarding a separate legal matter in Texas. Blake's team sought an extension from the court, stating that they had to address overlapping issues in Texas and were simply swamped. Yet Friedman called them out, revealing that Blake herself had filed suit first in that Texas case, and the opposing party was merely responding. The revelation that they had effectively created their own emergency left the judge less than impressed, leading to a sharply restricted time frame for their legal responses. With each procedural clash, it became increasingly clear that the standard celebrity defenses, star power, brand equity, and public sympathy, were losing their effectiveness against an opponent who thrived in high-pressure, high-visibility scenarios. But the legal arena wasn't the only place where things got heated. As new updates spilled out of the courtroom, the public devoured every twist and turn. Hashtags sprouted on platforms like Twitter and TikTok, with some posts reaching millions of views in a matter of hours. Influencers and commentary channels jumped at the chance to offer their hot takes on the situation, drawing even more eyes to an already colossal spectacle. Supporters of Blake Lively argued she was bravely shining light on wrongdoing that often goes unaddressed in the film industry. They cited past incidents in Hollywood where big names got away with atrocious acts simply because no one dared to speak out. To them, Blake was possibly a victim, now facing a relentless smear campaign powered by an overzealous attorney. On the flip side, Baldoni's growing fandom insisted that Blake's claims were opportunistic, contrived, or at least exaggerated. They highlighted Justin's philanthropic work, his track record of championing family-oriented projects, and his generally warm public persona. In their eyes, it was inconceivable that he would orchestrate anything akin to a sabotage campaign. Right at the center of this digital battleground stood Brian Friedman, either lauded as a truth-seeking hero or vilified as a Hollywood fixer who thrived on destroying reputations. Memes showcasing Friedman as a stern, dark-suited figure because in the battle of star versus star, truth versus rumor, and brand versus brand, the most shocking surprises often come when we least expect them. One thing is certain. The finale of this high-stakes legal showdown is guaranteed to reverberate far beyond any single tabloid cycle. After all, in a place as unpredictable as Hollywood, one can never be sure who might fall next.